I apologize.
So, it's been like 5 months since this came out, but I'm still gonna talk about it. I talked about John Wick for 6 minutes, and that was years ago. Maybe I should have made that video a little longer. I've still been trying to figure out a good posting schedule, and once more than 20 people start seeing these videos, then I'll be in good hands. So anyways, David, most of the songs were pretty enjoyable. Phil Wickham has a knack for creating catchy, emotional music. The song between David and his mother was nice. That one really hit the emotional mark and reminded me why these films can have such a big impact on younger audiences. Speaking of impact, the animation was a step up from the studio's usual style. Their previous stuff had their charm, but this one looked cleaner, more fluid. The action sequences felt more dynamic, and the characters had more expressive faces than I've come to expect from their past work. Phil Wickham choosing himself to voice older David worked. His voice carried the weight of the story well and gave David a strong presence, especially in the reflective moments. Another highlight was Saul's character. He was written better than I thought he would be. He felt conflicted and human. The scene where his jealousy for David overcame him was really good, and the part where he chucks the spear at him really caught me off guard. Wait.
God has turned his back on me. And now, he has turned his back on you!
That's not how a spear works. Saul's son was a fun character. I just wish he had a little more screen time before he rode the Philistine wave.
Is this guy for real?
Guys, look, listen. I'm really funny, right? Cause you would tell me if I wasn't funny. And of course, the Amalekites. Their designs were very visually striking. You could tell the artists had fun coming up with them. They were intimidating in a stylized way that really fit the tone of where they were in the story. And David's humility was shown really well throughout the story. The way they depicted his growth, his leadership, and his faith felt sincere. Though, I do wish he had some funnier dialogue. Like, how hard would it have been to hunt down the dialogue writers for Avatar, kidnap them, and force them to do it? All right, sheeple. It's already time for the negatives. Let's start with David's brothers. Honestly, they were pretty lame. They mostly came across as archetypes. The jealous brother, the endearing brother, the fat brother, the lazy brother, the twin brothers, and... well, actually, I think that was all of them. There wasn't much depth, and they're not even in the movie that much, so I guess it doesn't matter. Oh wait, Eliab! He was the jealous one! Yeah, didn't do a good job with him. He was a jerk the entire film. David delivers this one inspirational line, and suddenly Eliab has a complete 180-degree character flip. I get that the story is trying to show forgiveness and growth, but it felt so rushed and unearned that I was like, wait, what just happened? The fight with Goliath? Blink and you miss it. Seriously, it ended way too quickly. I wanted more tension, more build-up. Like, this is the part of the story that it's famous for. It felt like the filmmakers just wanted to check it off their list and move on. And speaking of missing tension, the Philistine leader was really weird. Not in a good way. He wasn't intimidating, funny, interesting. I honestly couldn't tell what the film wanted him to be. Was he supposed to be scary, comedic, menacing? I'm still not sure. Another issue was the context for Saul's fear of the Amalekites. The film didn't take enough time to explain it, which made some of his actions seem a bit random. And the beginning of the film felt rushed as well. Probably because it is. They tried to cover a lot of ground quickly, but it left the story feeling really cramped and uneven. In fact, the entire runtime felt too short to cover 1st and 2nd Samuel properly. I get they picked kid-friendly highlights, but even then, it felt rushed in spots. And sometimes they focused on minor details that weren't essential.
But wait, there's more!
The humor. Yeah, I think maybe 90% of the jokes fell flat. I only got 3 chuckles. And honestly, these moments weren't particularly memorable. Then there's the song, Why God, My God. This was probably the best song in the movie, but I can't help thinking it could have been so much more cinematic. Imagine it animated in a style similar to Thus Saith the Lord from The Prince of Egypt. That's the level of epic I wanted. And finally, I feel like the story of 1st and 2nd Samuel would work so much better as a slightly longer, more mature adaptation. The film hints that it covers both chapters, but it doesn't really. It's more of a condensed, kid-friendly version. That's fine, but it's a little misleading. We got almost all of 1st Samuel and like half of 2nd Samuel. I guess that wouldn't have been a very strong introduction. Angel Studios also needs stronger writers for their kids' films. I get that they're trying to make the stories accessible to younger audiences, but there's a way to do that while still appealing to everyone. Humor, pacing, and character depth matter. So, overall, it's a mixed bag. On the positive side, the music, animation, and some of the characters were really solid. There were moments of genuine emotion and clever design, but at the same time, the film felt rushed. The jokes mostly missed, and some characters were underdeveloped or just unnecessary. I think with a bit more runtime, stronger writing, and attention to pacing, this could have been an incredible film. As it stands, it's enjoyable in parts, but definitely flawed. It's either a high 6 or a low 7 out of 10. Probably a 6, not gonna lie. But if they ever make an adult adaptation, like I said, that could be really cool. Bye.